after the explosion that was the end of us, I found myself facing the wrath of social impositions that created the narrative that I was the perpetrator, I was the instigator, I was one at fault. Because of this, no one in my life was curious about my experience. No one was willing or ready to support me. Um, I was incredibly alone in all of it, especially after losing the one person that meant the most to me, even though those feelings were complicated and confusing. As life went on, there were only a select few people that I trusted with my story. In 2019, I felt this desperate need to share my experience, to be seen in it, and so I did with a limited version of it on social media. It was such a relief to be seen. What I shared, though, wasn't my full truth, because at the time, there was no way to discover that truth within me. I existed in constant chaos. My life and my marriage were always in disarray. I was rarely in the present moment, and I was pulled in every direction except inward. I felt like I was running away from something, but I never had the stillness to know what it was. Throughout this time, I did have this recurring call to write, to put my story into words, to create a screenplay about my experience with you. And I tried over the following years, but I never had the space to allow creation. When I left her in March of 2023, that was the first time I was able to be still. The floodgates then opened. I was finally able to face the pain that I was holding on to for those 8 years. And it was brutal. I had buried it so deep, and every layer that I removed was excruciating. And it was also incredible. Finally, I was living and feeling the way that my body required to feel. I had been in therapy at the start of that year, and I started going twice a week at the start of this journey, and I was discovering so much about myself and what had happened. I also became my own detective on the case. I tracked down every document, court hearing, video evidence, detective interview, picture, and statement that was involved in the case, which led to such intense clarity on how everything transpired. And I was full of rage. I was so angry, and I was hurt. And that's how I approached my screenplay, with this desire to seek revenge. I also tried to build a case against you, but due to the statutes of limitations, it wasn't possible. Now, it's been 3 years since I started my screenplay, and as I've allowed my rage and my grief to move through me, within me, and then out of me, I have made space for peace, understanding, and love. Everything happened exactly the way it needed to. We all played the role that pain imposed upon us, and you are not the villain of my story. You were only another human experiencing pain who didn't know what to do with it. We seek safety because we require it. We seek love because we require it. We seek closeness because we require it. And I'm grateful that we were able to be that for one another, even within the distorted context that it was. When I started my screenplay, I led with the intention of you being the villain. But that's not the story at all. My intention now is to write a story of youth, of connection, of the harshness that life deals all of us, of the complexity of love, and of the intimacy of friendship. It's a sad story and a happy story, and just a story, just humanity. And I loved being human with you.